Okay, welcome to Kaizenify. I am going to walk you through the new dashboard feature that we have here. So I click on Dashboard Overview, and if we go to Overview as it is, we have an empty chart here because I haven't filled in any data yet, but the shell of the charts and indicators are here. We have over the line chart, throughput dollars per labor hours, minutes per piece, and pieces per day. Now these indicators over here, these are showing you yesterday's number, actual number. This will be showing you your average trend as you're going through your 4-week moving average there. So I'm going to be showing you how to set this up from scratch. So the first thing we need to do is go into settings. Now we need our break-even number. So this break-even number that we're putting in here is per month, as you can see. Now this break-even number is everything it costs you to keep the lights on, including the labor. This is in your hidden factory and your factory. We want to make sure we capture all of our overhead and labor in here. And then we automatically fill out your annual break-even. We just times this number by 12. Then we have, I'm going to leave this one blank for a minute, the material as a percentage of sales. I'm going to go back and show you how to use that one in a minute. That is an optional field. Then we have our working hours. I put in here 7 hours, and I have the ability to key in some bonus data. So what this means is bonus kept in the company amount by percentage. So what I'm saying here is after we surpass our break-even point in the month, I'm going to say 5% above that line is kept in the company. It's not available for a bonus. Then I'm saying after I exceed this 5%, the amount of bonus that I'm willing to share amongst the staff, I put in here 10%. These are optional fields for you to key in. If you don't want a bonus, then you're going to leave those as 0. However, it's configurable depending on what your setup is in your company for any level of profit sharing. Then we have our minutes per piece, min and max. And then we have our throughput dollars per labor hour, min and max, and our pieces per day, min and max. Now these are used to program what I showed you, those little tachometer graphs on the right-hand side. This is how we get that red, yellow, green range. So essentially we're saying whatever you're programming here will be in the yellow range. Anything above that will be green, and anything below that will end up being red on the graph. So I'm going to go into my daily operations. Now this will take you into your current month. In this case, it's October. You can see the data here is pre-filled in for break even, bonus kept in the company, and then how much to divide amongst the staff. It's important to note that this section of the dashboard where you enter the data and where you view the data is controlled in the employee section. So I'm actually going to hop out for a second and go over there. We force you to say this every time you leave just because we want to make sure you don't lose any data. Dashboard overview access. So if I turn this on, that means that John Doe has access to this dashboard, because we realize that this isn't information that you're necessarily going to want to share with everyone from the get-go. There's obviously some reasons why you would want to share it, but this is something that I would start out using with just the owner, maybe your production manager, and then if you get to the point where you want to be this transparent with everyone in the company, and you're using this profit sharing as a way to really get people engaged, then obviously you can turn this on for everyone. But we have it set up so that you can turn it on by person. So in my test company here, I have 2 employees. The owner, whoever signed up for Kaizenify, will have default access. So I just want to make sure that you understand that you do control this access, because of course this could be very confidential information. So I'm going back into October. I'm going to enter in this daily completed. This is my throughput dollars for the day. So I'm going to start entering in some test data, and then I'll explain it as I go along, and then I'll speed up the video. So this is the number of people that were in the building today, and then the number of pieces we made. And then we automatically figure out down here your hours worked. So I'm just going to keep keying data in here. I'm leaving out Saturday and Sunday. Now we have those in the month for you to enter into because some people are obviously working overtime and we want to make sure that we capture that data. So I'm just going to skip over that and go right to Monday. Okay, so I'm just going to take a quick break here and go back out to the overview so you can see where we are. The intention of this is that you're going to fill in those 3 pieces of information daily, and then you're going to see this graph here as you go through the month. And right now, here I am on October 11th. And then I'm going to go back in and I'm going to continue to enter information. Okay, let's go look at our overview again. Save. Okay, so now I've filled out my entire month. Of course, like I said before, you're filling one of these out per day. This is just for demonstration purposes. So now that we have our data on here, let's talk about what this graph really means. So this line here is the break-even line. That's the data that you entered. In my case, I said $30,000 is my break-even line. This red line, diagonal line here, is the burn rate line, and that's telling me how much I need to make every day to break even. So you can see here, each of these days, I'm actually breaking, just a little over break even. I'm struggling here. I just barely meeting the break even line here, and then getting better, and then getting better. Throughput is actually going up as I go through the month. These are numbers that I just made up, but you can see the difference in that I can see I'm exceeding my break even at this point, and I'm not here. I'm just barely there. So this will tell us if we're struggling, how do we recoup? In 6 weeks from now, if accounting comes out and tells me I had a bad month in October, there's nothing I can do about it. And I don't actually know what went wrong because I can't remember back that far, the details. But when I see this at the end of the day, I know we're in trouble. We're just barely breaking even. And I can get my team together and say, hey, listen, how are we going to make tomorrow different than today? How did we struggle? Was it a quality issue? Was it a part supply issue? Was it a labor issue? So you're talking about it as it happens every day. You're using this throughput chart, this over the line chart, to drive improvements and to celebrate when you're doing really well. We know we had a great day today. See, we're way above the line. So by the end of the month, you can see we're way over. So based on that bonus percentage you entered, we've actually figured it out for you that there's a bonus of $736 here. So you can easily see what your bonus amount is. So that's a quick breakdown of the over the line chart. I find this extremely useful for daily operations. So at a minimum, if I was the owner of the company, I would be looking at this every day, and I would also roll this out to my production manager, whoever is responsible for throughput in the shop. So the next set of metrics we have here is throughput dollars per labor hours. So what that's telling me is, depending on the amount of people that I had in the building today, how many throughput dollars did we get per labor hour? So I have a wild fluctuation here because I was keying in some pretty wild numbers. And that's why we have this 4-week average here that we can see this trend line. So I can tell, are we getting better or are we getting worse? If it's trending up, I'm getting more throughput dollars per labor hour. So that's good. That's what I want. If it's trending down, I know that my labor decisions that I'm making recently are not good. So this basically is helping me decide, how are we making the right labor decisions? If we move someone around, maybe we add an extra person on the assembly line, or we move someone from one work cell to another, this will tell us if it improved our throughput dollars, if it was a good decision or not. And then of course this dial indicator is what happened yesterday. So that's the actual number. So we're saying $22.72 of throughput dollars per labor hour. So that gives me the actual number from yesterday, end of day. This is what happened over the last 4 weeks. And then we move down to minutes per piece. Same thing, only this is telling me, are we getting faster or slower with what we're making? And it depends on what you're making, of course. In this case, you can see our minutes per piece is getting higher, so we're trending in the wrong direction. And then we get to pieces per day. Same thing, we have our dial indicator over here showing how we're doing, and then this is my trend chart going up or down. So as you can see, this is our high-level dashboard overview of how things are going in the shop. And then if I want to go out and look at my historical data, I can look at different months, or I can just put it to select month, and now I can see my yearly figures. So you can see that October is very low compared to where it should be as far as this yearly figure goes. So same graph, just on an annual basis, not a daily basis. And I don't have any historical data in here, so we won't see it until I start building up my data, but we'll be able to see month over month how we are doing. And then one more thing I want to show you in the settings. We have this material as a percentage of sales. So on a daily basis, we want you to plot your throughput dollars. That's what got across the finish line, your sales minus material. So one common question we get is, I don't know what my throughput dollars are. I can't accurately figure that out. So don't worry about being precise, because we're not filing our taxes based on this. But if you don't know, and you can safely say, you know what, I think about 20% of my sales is what makes up my material number. So you could do that. And then if you do that, instead of putting your daily throughput here, you can put your sales here. And then we will take 80% of that and put it in your daily throughput. So we will figure that out for you. So you control whether or not you need to use that number. Again, I'm going to go back to my settings. You don't have to use this. You could keep that as 0, and then we are just going to take over whatever number you're putting in here. That's the number we're going to use. You can see this one here has changed because I changed that setting and then keyed in that number and then hit save. So I can put this back if I say I don't want to use that, and then just hit save again. Again, we force you to save on the way out. That's it. Get out there and start measuring.